influencing the Edo State Governorship Election Tribunal and urged security agencies, including the police, the Department of State Services and the Nigerian Army, to be vigilant and take necessary measures to prevent a potential breakdown of law and order in the nation's capital. According to Tenebe, the PDP and ASUE Igodalo's supporters plan to carry out the unlawful act on Tuesday, March 4, 2025, stressing the need for security agencies to be proactive in preventing the planned disruption. The Edo APC chairman emphasized that the party would not tolerate any attempts to compromise the judicial process or disrupt peace. Attorney General of Lagos State, Lawal Pedro San, has stressed the need for a harmonious working relationship between law enforcement agencies and prosecutors in the state. Pedro made the call during an annual retreat with the theme Criminal Justice Administration, a perspective on the role of the judiciary, prosecution and law enforcement agencies in the operation of the Lagos State Special Offences Mobile Court. Pedro said the State's Council overseeing police formations should be accorded the same respect as police officers visiting the Ministry of Justice, except in cases where the officer is a suspect, adding that between the law enforcement agency and the State Council of Prosecutors, there should be a good relationship, synergy and bonding because they are working towards the same goal. In her remarks, the Mobile Court Coordinator Arinola Banjoko highlighted the importance of the Mobile Court in dispensing justice, particularly in addressing minor offences and reducing case backlogs, and also stressed on the need for dedicated efforts and synergy among the judiciary, law enforcement agencies and prosecutors to ensure the Mobile Court remains a credible and efficient institution. According to her, the Mobile Court is a vital mechanism in the expeditious dispensation of justice, particularly in addressing minor offences, reducing case backlogs, and ensuring swift enforcement of laws. Mudashiru Obasa has been returned as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Obasa was reinstated following the resignation of Mojisola Miranda, who stepped down from the role with immediate effect and was returned as a Speaker during Monday's plenary session. In January, Obasa was impeached by members of the Lagos State House of Assembly over multiple allegations of fraud. This is after Speaker Mojisola Miranda presided over the plenary at the Lagos State House of Assembly, while the ousted Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, who was earlier at the Assembly complex, was not at the Monday sitting where Obasa, Miranda and all the lawmakers at the House earlier held a meeting outside the chamber. The meeting was held ahead of the plenary that commenced around 2 p.m. Leaders of the state chapter of the All Progressives Congress, including Chairman Cornelius Ojelabi, were at the meeting, and the Attorney General of Lagos State, Lawa Pedro, was also at the meeting, which was expected to resolve the leadership crisis at the House. Obasa had earlier arrived around 1:30 p.m. to join the lawmakers at the meeting held under a tent, and later left the meeting after a separate chat with AG Ojelabi and other party stakeholders. It is not certain yet how the leadership tussle between Miranda and Obasa would be resolved, but currently the lawmakers are eulogizing Miranda, saluting her leadership so far. Miranda, a former deputy speaker, was made the speaker by over 30 lawmakers on January 13 when the House removed Obasa as speaker. Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Nojid Fatai, and the Chief Whip of the Assembly, Sani Okanlawon, have resigned from his position. This is coming after lawmakers at the House have hailed Speaker Mojisola Miranda for listening to the All Progressive Congress and letting go. Miranda may be resigning from the position of Speaker anytime soon, as the lawmakers salute her for 9 days of leadership so far. Other principal officers are also resigning at the moment. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayed Datiwa has approved the employment of 1,010 secondary school teachers in the state. A statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Ebenezer Adeniyon, said the governor's approval came after the completion of the recruitment process by the State Teaching Service Commission, which screened thousands of applicants last year. Adeniyon said the successful candidates are to begin their documentation immediately. This is coming after the governor had given approval for the recruitment of 1,010 secondary school and 1,000 primary school teachers last year, which signaled the start of the recruitment exercise by TESCOM and the State Universal Basic Education Board. Governor Ayed Datiwa expressed concern over teaching staff shortages in public schools, particularly in rural communities, adding that the recruitment must be based on the peculiar needs of the understaffed schools across the state. He also said the recruitment of teachers in both primary and secondary schools was one of the efforts of the Aye Datiwa administration to revamp the education sector in the state. National State Police Command has successfully intercepted and recovered a stolen Lexus SUV following a robbery and kidnapping incident reported in Kurudu, Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. A statement released by the Police Public Relations Officer, SP Rahman Nansel, said the operation was initiated after a distress call was received at approximately 3:53 hours on March 3, 2025 by the Commissioner of Police, CP Shetima Jao Mohammed, while intelligence indicated that the suspects were heading along the Kefi Akwanga Road. He also said, despite an immediate pursuit, the suspects evaded capture, adding that the stolen vehicle was successfully recovered and is now secured at the police station for further investigation. Further updates from the FCT Police Command confirmed that the kidnapped victim, a woman, had been abandoned by the kidnappers within the FCT before they fled with her vehicle. She has since been safely located and is receiving support. The police assured the public that the area remains calm and efforts are ongoing to apprehend the fleeing suspects, adding that residents are encouraged to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the nearest police station. Federal Road Safety Corps has impounded over 350 vehicles with unauthorized number plates within 1 month nationwide. The Corps member public education officer, Mr. Olusegun Ogunbemide, who disclosed this in Abuja, said the FRSC began a nationwide operation to impound vehicles with unauthorized number plates. The operation is targeted at vehicles with certain registration numbers and illegal use of number plates by private, commercial, government, and diplomatic vehicles, adding that the Corps launched the nationwide operation to enhance road safety and national security. He said the first intervention took about 2 weeks in Abuja, the pilot location, and was extended to all other states of the Federation and impounded 350 vehicles in 1 month of the operation. FRSC spokesman urged vehicle owners to acquire legal number plates through the National Vehicle Identification Scheme, stressing that the process was simple and affordable. Adding that vehicle owners could register their vehicles under the NVIS, which provides a secure and reliable means of identifying vehicles. Fulani vigilante has arrested suspected kidnappers in Oke-Ode community, Ifelodun, local government area of Kwara State. The feat was achieved by a combined effort of Fulani vigilantes, Yoruba hunters, and local vigilantes. The spokesperson of the State Police Command headquarters in Ilorin, SP Adetoyin Ejire Adeyemi, was here to confirm the development at the time of this report. However, the state's chairman of the Miyati Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Idris Abubakar Sakaina, commended the efforts of the joint groups in the determination to rid the area of all forms of crime. Nigeria State Police Command has debunked reports claiming that 10 hotel guests were abducted by bandits disguised as operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. This is coming after the armed men stormed White Hill Hotel on Shiroro Road, Chanka local government area, Niger State, posing as EFCC operatives, and also allegedly disabled the hotel's CCTV cameras before possibly taking 10 individuals to an unknown destination. The report also cited an unnamed Assistant Commissioner of Police, State Intelligence Department, stating that the investigations were underway to identify the culprits and locate the abducted victims. The ACP was quoted as urging the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities. Niger State Police Command spokesman Washiu Abiodun dismissed the claims, clarifying that the operation was in fact carried out by EFCC operatives. Meanwhile, EFCC's head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, confirmed the arrest of 11 suspected internet fraudsters during the raid, adding that the operation was conducted professionally. Recovered items included 2 vehicles and 13 mobile phones of different brands. Petrol tanker crashed along the Jalingo-Wukari Road in the early hours and prompted a swift response from security operatives to prevent looting and a possible explosion. Police officers and personnel from the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps quickly arrived at the scene, securing the area and temporarily closing the road to ensure public safety. Authorities successfully transferred the tanker's fuel container to another vehicle, averting any hazardous situation. Both the Police Public Relations Officer SP Usman Abdullahi and the NSCDC spokesperson SC Sam Iliya confirmed the swift intervention, while the NSCDC commandant personally led his team to the site to maintain order. Police officers sustained serious injuries after being attacked by a mob while transporting recovered hard drugs to the station in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The incident was contained in a post by security analyst Zakazola Makama on his official X handle on Monday. According to the report, the attack occurred in the early hours of Saturday at Polo Roundabout when two officers from the C Division of the Nigeria Police Force attempted to arrest a suspect found in possession of hard drugs. The suspect, upon sighting the officers, abandoned the bag containing hard drugs and other substances suspected to be Indian hemp before fleeing into the Jenta Adamu area of Jos North local government area, Makama Road. Shortly after, the suspect reportedly returned with a group of motorcycle riders and attacked the officers who were already on their way to the station with the recovered drugs. During the assault, one of the officers, identified as Inspector Ikale Mohammed, sustained severe injuries and was immediately rushed to Bingham University Teaching Hospital for medical attention. A Bajaj Boxer motorcycle was recovered at the scene while police reinforcements were deployed to restore order and track down their attackers. No fewer than 6 suspects have been arrested for killing two police officers at Kolere village in Fune local government area of the state. Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Yobe State Police Command, Abdul Abubakar Ozo, who disclosed this to newsmen shortly after a routine State Security Council meeting presided over by the State Deputy Governor Idi Bade Guban, said the arrested suspects have links to the killings of the two police officers, adding that they are in the custody of the state CID for further investigation. According to him, the state command had deployed more operative searching for more of those involved in the killing of the officers. This is coming after DSP Ali Pinda and DSP Jantuko Philbus were killed by hoodlums in separate incidents early this year for attempting to arrest suspected gang members in Kolere community, Fune local government area of Yobe State. Kano State House of Assembly has summoned the chairman of Rano local government area to explain the recent demolitions carried out at the Rano market, an action that has sparked controversy among traders and the public and general public. The lawmaker representing Rano local government area, Alhaji Ibrahim Muhammad Rano, presented an urgent motion during today's plenary calling for intervention to assist affected traders, adding that demolitions were carried out without prior notice, leaving hundreds of traders in distress and posing a threat to the economic stability of the area. The assembly approved the motion and demanded that the local government chairman appear before it to clarify the reasons behind the demolitions, particularly given the hardships faced by the affected community. Some of the affected traders have called on the state government to intervene and provide support, urging the horse to further demolitions, and the assembly has assured that it would continue to monitor the situation to ensure justice and protect the rights of the people. You're watching the Global News on the Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network, and now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has met with his Sierra Leonean counterpart, Julius Bayo, at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja. Bayo arrived at the forecourt of the villa at 12:22 p.m. Monday in the company of the bypass of the Presidential Guards Brigade and was received by the President's Chief of Staff, Mr. Femi Pajamila, who ushered him into the closed-door meeting. Nigeria and Sierra Leone have maintained strong diplomatic relations since their respective independencies in October 1960 and April 1961, and both nations are active members of the Economic Community of West African States and the African Union and have collaborated on initiatives that promote peace, stability and development in the region. Between 1991 and 2002, Nigeria played a pivotal role in supporting Sierra Leone during its civil war when it led the ECOWAS monitoring group in peacekeeping efforts to restore stability in the region, while Nigerian forces were also instrumental in combating rebel factions and reinstating the democratically elected government of President Ahmad Tejan Kaba after a military coup in 1997. This led to the deployment of the United Nations mission in Sierra Leone in 1999, which assisted in disarmament and peace-building processes, and the primary exports included fertilizers, spices. Meanwhile, Sierra Leone's main exports to Nigeria include animal and vegetable fats, and oils, machinery and boilers, rubber products, and fish and crustaceans. President Bola Tinubu has approved provisional licenses for 11 new private universities in Nigeria. A statement on X by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Public Communication, Sunday Dare, Tinubu granted the approvals during the Federal Executive Council meeting on Monday. The newly approved private universities are New City University, Ayetoro, Ogun State University of Fortune, Igotako, Ondo State Eranovo University, Mabushi, Abuja, Minaret University, Ikurun, Osun State, Abubakar Toyin University, Oke Agba, Kwara State, and Southern Atlantic University, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Others are Lens University, Ilemona, Kwara State, Monarch University, ESC Ota, Ogun State, Tony Iredia, University of Communication, Benin City, Edo State, Isaac Balami University of Aeronautics and Management, Lagos State, and Kivine Eze University, Ngowo, Enugu State. The statement also said President Tinubu is committed to expanding the frontiers of educational opportunities and infrastructure in Nigeria. Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, has advised Organizing Secretary Kole Omololu, said the allegations were made following an act of discipline against Senator Natasha Akpoti. According to the group, the allegations should be investigated by a Senate committee, stressing that Nigeria Police Force has expressed concern over the avoidable loss of firearms by its officers across the country, attributing the issue to negligence and poor weapon handling skills among personnel. This is coming after the Senate Public Accounts Committee questioned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, regarding 178,459 missing firearms. I beg your pardon. Reacting to the controversy surrounding the IG's appearance, the police, in a statement issued by the first spokesperson on February 13, rejected claims from the 2019 report by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The police dismissed the report's allegations that thousands of firearms were unaccounted for, calling it misleading and inaccurate, adding that annual firearm audits are conducted and no significant number of weapons had been reported missing. The directive also mandated senior police officers to provide monthly reports on arms and ammunition, warning that supervising officers would be held accountable. As Nigeria continues in the war against insurgency and other criminal vices, the media and the military have been encouraged to advance coordinated relationship geared towards enhancing national security in Nigeria. The Director General of Nigerian Army Resource Center, Major General Garba Wahab, retired, made the appeal while addressing journalists in Abuja. General Wahab, who advocated to bridge the gaps that had been observed in military media relations and expressed the commitment to build trust for both teams to succeed. Wahab identified media owners as a critical organ to protecting national security and formulating universally acceptable national interests, adding that correspondence and the guide of editors forms the base for success.
Not even in terms of warfare. In Ethiopia, 2023, exams was to take place, and the nation decided to shut down the entire internet facility and the media was in full support. For
talk.
us to have a clear picture of performance of our children in secondary school and for them to go to the university, let us test their ability. Let us ensure that they can't access AI. Because your answer, anybody, your smartphone, some smartphone will give you answers to any question. So that's
I will locate my family out of this country.
for the whole day. Nobody complained. And the question we ask here is, will the average Nigerian believe that government should shut down?
Gallant troops of the Nigerian army have neutralized several terrorists, recovered weapons, bombs and other exhibits across the country. A statement on its social media platform on Facebook, X, WhatsApp said 1 March 2025, troops deployed in Bama local government area of Borno State launched a ruthless and coordinated assault on a well-fortified terrorist stronghold following credible intelligence that insurgents were regrouping to unleash havoc on villages around Fallujah and its environs. He said the troops launched attack, overpowered them and recovered 11 rocket-propelled grenade, RPG bombs, 760 rounds of 7.62 millimeter linked ammunition, 220 rounds of 12.7 millimeter linked M7 rifle, 440 rounds of 7.62 millimeter times 54 millimeter ammunition. The troops also conducted a thorough clearance operation in Ogunwam, Abdullahi, a terrorist-infested settlement where they annihilated all terrorist life support structures and unearthed stockpiles of food items buried underground, depriving the terrorists of crucial sustenance. It said as troops advanced ahead of Garin Fallujah, they engaged the terrorists in a blistering firefight, forcing them into a chaotic retreat, and that the troops neutralized the notorious terrorist commander Abba Alai Amirul Kahid of Alafa, a high-value target who had long been on security watch list. The following attempts, the troops further cleared Ukuba Forest, capturing an alarming assortment of heavy weaponry and military-grade equipment, including 2 general-purpose machine guns, Mowag armored Oyo and Oshun area to curb cross-border crimes. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has explained why his administration did not implement the recommendations of the 2014 National Conference. He made this known when he joined former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to pay a condolence visit to the family of late Afenifere leader Chief Ayo Adebanjo in Lagos. Jonathan said the political situation in Nigeria at the time was too turbulent to accommodate presentation of the recommendations, and the 2014 National Conference would not have come up without the contributions of people such as the late Adebanjo, who died on February 14, 2025 in Lagos. He was aged 96. Jonathan said that a number of people had kept asking why he did not implement the recommendations of the conference, and most Nigerians do not know that there was a lot of political turbulence in the country at that period. Jonathan added that some persons were ready to bring his administration down at that time. Jonathan and Abubakar were received at different times by the children of the late elder statesman led by Obafemi Ayo Adebanjo and members of the Pan-Yoruba social group Afenifere led by Oba Oladipo Olaitan. We are also present during the visit. Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and Abuja has condemned the closure of public and private schools in some northern states during Ramadan. While condemning the action of the affected states, the Christian body asked northern governors to match education with spiritual practice. The call followed the directive to close public and private schools in Bauchi, Katsina, Kano, and Kebbi states for 5 weeks during Ramadan. Wow. A statement issued in Kaduna, Northern Kan chairman Reverend John Hayab expressed concerns that the closure would negatively impact senior secondary students preparing for examinations and junior students sitting for junior secondary schools examination in the affected states. Hayab also said some children under 14 may not be religiously mature enough to observe the fast. The Kan leader also said even in countries like Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, schools remain open during Ramadan, urging the affected states to adopt a similar approach. And now, business news. Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has closed runway 118R/36L at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Ikeja, for rehabilitation. The closure started from 3 a.m. on Monday. A statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, FAN, Mrs. Obiageli Ora, said the closure is due to ongoing rehabilitation work, asphalt phase at the A2 taxiway link of the runway, adding that the development is part of ongoing efforts to ensure that the runway will remain in optimal condition. Central Bank of Nigeria has reinforced its regulatory oversight to bolster the resilience and transparency of the country's financial system, while also affirming its commitment to strict compliance and risk management across financial institutions. A statement from the Apex Bank said the CBN reaffirmed its commitment at a mandatory compliance and anti-money laundering training workshop held in Lagos on February 28, 2025. The event, organized in collaboration with CT, brought together compliance officers, trade operations specialists, and correspondent banking teams from various financial institutions to discuss global regulatory trends, financial risks, and strategies for maintaining robust compliance frameworks. International banking standards to maintain confidence in the sector, the statement noted. She said regulators expect financial institutions to operate dynamic, risk-based anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism programs that can adapt to an evolving financial environment, adding that proactive engagement with regulatory development and the integration of innovative compliance solutions were necessary for institutions to meet global expectations. Naira closed February 2025 with an 8.5% gain month-on-month on the parallel market to settle at 1,490 Naira per dollar, while it closed at 1,500 Naira per dollar at the official market, indicating a 1.7% decline. According to the AfrinVest monthly market report, the foreign reserve dipped by 3.2% month-on-month and it stood at $38.46 billion. They went on to project that in March, we anticipate the Naira will remain in the market. Cowrie Asset Research said in the past week, the Nigerian oil benchmark, Bonny Light Crude, traded in a weak region at the international oil market, shedding $2.36 or 3.2% week on week to close at $75.88 per barrel as of Thursday. On the outlook for the week, the analyst said, in the coming week, we anticipate the continued battle for stability in the forex market as the Apex Bank intensifies efforts to defend the Naira. With the CBN expected to take more decisive steps to support the local currency, including tightening liquidity and enhancing forex supply mechanisms, the Naira could gain further ground against the dollar in the coming week. Experts have in the past highlighted some of the challenges threatening the Naira stability, including a mounting debt burden, sustained decline in foreign reserves, and high inflation rates. They claim that these factors threaten to undermine the potential gains of ongoing foreign exchange reforms. United Kingdom and Nigeria reaffirmed their commitment to enhancing trade relations and driving economic growth through the implementation of Nigeria's national quality policy under the Standards Partnership Programme Phase 2. A statement from the British Deputy High Commission in Lagos on Monday said the program is a collaborative effort between the British Standards Institution and Nigeria's National Quality Council, supported by the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, standardization, accreditation, conformity assessment, inspection, testing, and methodology services, all of which are essential to boosting trade capacity, attracting investment, and aligning with global standards. In his keynote address at the event in Abuja, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, underscored the importance of a strong national quality infrastructure for Nigeria's economic diversification and highlighted how improving systems related to standards, metrology, and accreditation would help boost non-oil exports, create jobs, and strengthen the Naira. The chairman of the National Quality Council, Osita Aboloma, welcomed the program while stressing on the need for stakeholder collaboration to meet Nigeria's quality and trade objectives, adding that an effective quality infrastructure will not only support the government's economic agenda, but also enhance Nigeria's competitiveness in global markets. And now, on to international tidbits. Democratic Republic of Congo is resisting mounting international pressure to engage in direct negotiations with the M23 rebel group, which has advanced rapidly in the eastern region of the country in recent months. This comes despite recent calls from the UK and other international powers for inclusive dialogue. Prime Minister Judith Suminwa Tuluka told reporters that her government will only negotiate with Rwanda, which it accuses of backing the M23. At least 8,500 people have been killed and hundreds of thousands displaced since January, according to the Congolese authorities, and the Prime Minister Suminwa Tuluka is insisting that Rwanda is the aggressor, violating DRC's territorial sovereignty, while citing a UN experts report claiming that 3,000 Rwandan troops crossed into eastern Congo to support the M23 rebels. The conflict has strained Rwanda's previously close ties with Western nations. The United States recently imposed sanctions on Rwandan government minister James Kabarebe, while the European Commission suspended defense consultations and placed a raw materials agreement with Rwanda under review. The UK government has also announced a pause in aid except for funds assisting the poorest and most vulnerable unless Rwanda withdraws its forces and engages left one person dead and several wounded, medics said, in what police called a terror attack whose perpetrator was killed. The attack came in negotiations between Israel and Hamas Palestinian militants over Gaza's ceasefire stalled after the deal's first phase ended on the weekend. It said a man and woman around 30 years of age as well as a 15-year-old boy were seriously injured, and the attack took place at the bus and train station in Haifa, a large coastal city in northern Israel, home to a mixed Jewish and Arab population. Israel blocked the entry of humanitarian aid to Gaza after a disagreement with the Palestinian Islamic movement over extending the ceasefire. UK minister says France and Britain have not agreed on a partial truce plan for Ukraine after French President Emmanuel Macron said it had been proposed by the two nations. Macron said London and Paris are proposing a one-month truce in Ukraine in the air, at sea, and on energy infrastructure. Macron said such a truce would not, initially at least, cover ground fighting, while the UK government official also played out any agreement. Macron's comments came after UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer convened crisis talks over Ukraine with European leaders, NATO Chief Mark Rutte, and Canada in central London. US President Donald Trump says the names of 5 cryptocurrencies should be included in a new strategic reserve to make the US the crypto capital of the world. The market prices of the 5 coins he named Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano are swiftly jumped after the announcement. During Trump's presidential campaign, he aggressively courted the crypto community. The previous US President Joe Biden had overseen a crackdown on crypto due to concerns about fraud and money laundering. In a social media post on Sunday, Trump said he had signed an order which directed the Presidential Working Committee group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve. The post marked a new upward turn for crypto prices, which has dropped sharply since spiking after his election and shortly after taking office in January. Trump signed an executive to create a presidential working group tasked with proposing new crypto laws and regulations. The order called on the group to evaluate the potential creation and maintenance of a national digital asset stockpile that could use cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the federal government through its law enforcement efforts, and it is unclear whether creating a new national strategic stockpile will require an act of Congress. Vatican said Pope Francis rested well during his 17th night in hospital with pneumonia, and the day after reporting the 88-year-old was in a stable condition. The Holy See said in a typically brief morning update, the Pope rested well at night. He also said the head of the Catholic Church was admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital on February 14 with bronchitis, which later developed into pneumonia in both lungs. Here now is ATN Sports News. Eyimba have dedicated their 1-0 win at Niger Tornadoes to their injured forward Ifeanyi Ihemekwele. Bucky striker Joseph Atule scored the winning goal for the two-time African champions 2 minutes after the hour mark. It was the Aba Giants' 3rd away win of the season, while Eyimba beat Heartland and Lobby Stars on the road earlier in the campaign. Ihemekwele sustained an injury in Eyimba's Abia State Federation Cup final with Ahudia last month. The forward, who has scored 5 league goals for the People's Elephant this season, is expected to be sidelined for around 8 weeks. Former Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney has praised Chido Obi's cameo as the team crashed out of the FA Cup on Sunday. Chido Obi replaced Ramos Hojlund in the 68th minute of the tie against Fulham at Old Trafford. The Danish forward put up a spirited performance but was unavailable to finish off some of the chances that fell his way. After the game, Rooney and manager Ruben Amorim spoke highly of the teenager. Valencia manager Carlos Corberán has praised Omar Sadiq following the forward's impressive performance in the club's 3-3 draw with Osasuna. Sadiq grabbed a brace for lost chair in the thrilling encounter. The 27-year-old has so far scored 3 goals in 6 league appearances for Valencia. This is coming after National International arrived the former Europa League champions on loan from Real Sociedad in January. And now, entertainment news. Federal High Court in Lagos has granted 100 million naira bail to Jude Okoye, the former manager of the hip-hop artist, the defunct music group P-Square. Justice Alexander Owoye granted the bail with 2 surgeries in like sum. The court also ruled that Jude Okoye must not travel out of the country. The judge held that one of the shorties must be the owner of a landed property amongst others. Jude Okoye, who is the elder brother to Peter and Paul of P-Square, was arraigned last week Wednesday before the court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on alleged crime of money laundering involving 1.8 billion naira, which is $1 million, and 34,537.59 euros. He was arraigned alongside his company Northside Music Limited on 7 counts preferred against him by EFCC. The commission informed the court that the defendant, along with his company Northside Music Limited, directly acquired the landed property at number 5 Tony Eromoselek Street, Parkview Estate, Ikoyi, Lagos in 2022. The property valued at 815 million naira was allegedly purchased with funds the defendant knew or ought to have reasonably known were proceeds of unlawful activities. Veteran Nollywood actress Mama Eriko has disclosed that her late husband used to sleep with his mistresses in her presence. The actress made this known while speaking about the emotional abuse experienced in their marriage. According to her, he used to bring them home to sleep over and would sleep with them in my presence. Famous Nigerian actress and producer Funke Akindele has blasted a fan who asked her when she intended to buy a Lamborghini car. The fan asked the question following the ongoing Lamborghini scandal involving singer Burna Boy. This is coming after socialite Sophia Egboje last week accused Burna Boy of reneging on his promise to buy her a Lamborghini in exchange for sex. The development has sparked diverse reactions from celebrities like Daddy Freeze, actress Angela Okori, and singer Portable, among others, on social media. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Rivers Assembly gives Fubara 48 hours to present 2025 budget. Obasa returns as Lagos State Assembly Speaker. Tinubu welcomes Sierra-known president. Fan closes runway for rehabilitation. DR Congo government rejects talks with M23 rebels. Ayimba dedicates win to Tornadoes, and court grants P-Square's ex-manager 100 million naira bail. I am Favor Chikwestri Michael. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, on Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do have a pleasant night rest.
In Ethiopia, 2023.